Hello, guys. Good evening. Good to be back. Bonsoir. Hello. How are you? How's everybody doing? Episode 36 with the mighty team. We're finally back. It's been a while. It's been like 2 weeks now. Hello, Christian. Hello, Lud. How are you guys doing? How's everything going there with you guys? Uh, hope
Good.
hope everybody is doing as good as possible. I'm trying myself to have a nice time uh, and enjoy like a lot of gaming and stuff like that. It's not that easy, but it's not complicated either. So yeah, we're good. We're doing good. Uh, I'll be hovering over Christian for a little time. I still need to get you guys
Yeah.
like all right now. I think this looks better, and I will try to fix the way. So I want this to hide. How do you hide the lower part of? No, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. All right, guys. So episode 36. Um, I've missed you guys. It's been 2 weeks, and it's been two crazy weeks. Let's say two crazy full weeks of different events and stuff I did. Um, School started once again. I had to close all my students' grades by 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty exhausting doing that for the first time. It's never easy, and it's been a lot of gaming also. So gaming's been good with me. I played an online campaign. I started with Rob. We're doing this river assault thing from Russian migration, but actually applied to current D-Day books and SS. So basically, we're kind of going for bridge at Remagen and these kind of things
Hmm.
with the Allies trying to cross the Rhine, trying to cross the Meuse and all those rivers. And we played the first mission, and we're about to play the second mission by the end of February, probably the beginning of March. It depends on when our national tournament will come because yes, Super Smash Flames of War is still up, it's still going, and we're doing actually qualifiers. Yeah, because yeah, the regular six-man team has to fit into a four-man team now, so everything is changed, let's say. And how have you been doing, gentlemen?
Um, I just sent you the agenda on your mail.
Yes.
But I've been busy with my real life
All right.
off gaming because I am doing my last internship at the surgical ward. So
Hmm.
right now I am helping out in operations and surgery and stuff like that. And on the gaming side of life, I've been actually having playing 4 games since last time.
All right.
Um, I played against Helge, our captain on the team, twice, and because we're allowed to gather 5 people at one place at one point, we got together 4 of us from the Danish ETC team and had a practice day at Helge's place where we played 3 games and tried to play some of the regular missions that we often meet at the ETC. Even though there's no ETC, we're still thinking about attending Etienne and Fred's tournament in Switzerland. So I think some of the missions will be the same
Yeah.
as we see at the ETC. So we've been practicing. I think we played no retreat and counterattack, my all-time favorite hating mission. and what was it? Corner, I think. And then I've been filming all of my games, and right now I'm editing them for my YouTube channel. So hopefully, I will be able to pump out like 4 games in a row. But I would wish the editing took
that
less
that
time than it actually does. I'm trying to make the movies like 10 minutes long or something like that. And I think you can time that by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, the amount of time it takes to edit it. So,
it is a
but
pain. It is a pain. It is a pain to edit so much.
yeah, yeah.
Because
But that's it.
all right.
What about you, Lud?
Oh, I've been busy with work, busy with the family. Um, yeah, I've found a cool painting project, but since it's for a online competition called Brush Beast, I'm unable to discuss more of the subject in question.
All
But
right.
yeah, otherwise I've been good. Nothing, nothing major happening. Just usual life. Not much, not much gaming going on though, since our club is still closed. So can't really go anywhere to play.
So it's gonna be just me and Christian talking about our games today, huh?
Yep, I'm afraid so.
All right. Talking about what we're gonna talk about, um, we have a little bit of an agenda today. That is courtesy of our good friend uh, Chris. It's just gonna take me a bit to get it on the screen for you guys to see. And yeah, this is it. And I want to show it. Okay. So our agenda. There it is. Christian, it's
Yes.
our introduction. It's about what I want to talk about, and that is delaying with the shipping and delaying with the books and delaying with absolutely everything that can we could talk about in terms of our Flames of War hobby. And we're gonna tell you about the games we played because as me as I told you guys, you've seen my game with Rob, but I had 3 other games I played offline, and they were quite fantastic. And I came up with a pretty nice conclusions and some hectic ways to solve the game by the third turn or something like that. And then we're gonna talk about the Super Smash Flames of War. I just finished, let's say, a first preview of what's going to be the logo. I will try to have the Facebook page by the end of this week, hopefully. And we'll tell you guys a little bit more. I talked with Etienne, and he told me some things they are working on, and they are still preparing. All the um, work, the paperwork for um organizing an event with 60, 70 people. So basically, they're still working on that, taking it into consideration. They still have a governmental situation with COVID and stuff like that. We have our anecdote, which it's going to be pretty interesting, and Christian is going to tell us about it. And then yeah, we're gonna talk about things you guys would like to talk about. We're gonna take some peeks into our uh, uh, chat and see if you guys have any kind of other subjects. um, Hello, Patrick. Good to have you here. I hope you're not quarantined because of COVID or stuff like that. I just hope it's something general that's going on with you guys there. Otherwise, it will be quite hard, let's say. And hello to my students who are joining us, and hopefully they will uh, get more addicted by this short clips, and they will eventually join me for a game of tests and see how it goes. Oh,
Um,
look! Patrick has a six pack of Corona with him.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, my friend. I hope everything is okay with you, and you're gonna get over it fast and in good conditions with no like backlashes and stuff like that. Sorry, Christian.
Yeah, Patrick, I hope you don't lose your sense of smell because that's some of the issues often with people that have caught the corona. But Theo, I've been talking with some guys on the Danish Flame to War forum on Facebook,
Yes.
and it's a quite new guy to the game, and he'd been, putting up different lists that he was curious to know whether was legal
All
in
right.
regards of cards and mixing and matching and stuff like that. And I've added them to the DS I sent you,
Yes.
and I told him that we could
Talk
go over
about
the
them.
list, yeah, and see if we could give him some like constructive criticism in
Sure.
regards to his lists.
Sure. I have them on our screen right now. You can see them also on our thing, and you have them. I will just have to look at it because it's so small. Uh, so Sherman Veteran Company, all right, and
The thing is, he wants to play tanks, and he wants to either this it's supposed to be a fun list rather than a competitive list. Like he wants to field some of his favorite units and stuff, and he's been posting these on our forum to have some feedback on them.
all right. My first impression about the first list. Is it 100 points? Yeah, it is, because it has a full-size veteran armor rifle platoon, which my dear friend, what's his name?
And his name is let me check. I can't recall. I think it's yeah. Sorry about that.
All right.
Let me check. I think his name is Mess or something like that. Let me see.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's call him our good friend from Denmark.
Anders. His name is Anders. Yeah, sorry. His name is
All
Anders. Yeah.
all right. So, our dear good friend, um, I will never take a full-size veteran armor rifle platoon. I wouldn't take it. I don't know. Lude, what do you say?
Well, I mean, it it works for certain things, and if you want to field your favorite units, it's what you got to do.
Right. Right. So, from my point of view, in a
I've
compet
never had problems with them.
Right, right. I never won battles with them, so yeah. I mean, they are very much downgraded from what they used to be in version 3 for late war. And I mean, we've been ranting about them for a year already. By the way, when are we celebrating 1 year of of shows? It should be in March or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah, you
I'll
maybe
got it,
start.
buddy.
I'll have to check it. So the thing is with this Sherman Veteran Company, I would basically what I found out by testing and playing and stuff is that I strongly if you want to take any kind of infantry with your American force, take the British paratroopers, which are best value for what you get, and they get the things done that no other American infantry can do it. Because, for example, you play something like 14 points for the same amount of bases and almost the same stats, or the stats that are, let's say, uh, good for infantry nowadays. You pay 14 points for an American parachute platoon, and you pay 10 points for the same thing for British. So you win 4 points, for which, for example, you could get a spare reconnaissance thing.
Yeah. The thing
Uh,
is, the
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is, it looks cool with the armored rifle platoon, and I think it has some merit, but it's just very expensive um, in regards to what you get out of it. But this here is like things he wants to field, but he could also go for some FTP or FFI platoons. If he just wants boots on the ground to try and
exact,
hold an objective. And they do a fine job of just guarding stuff.
exactly.
Another
Good,
great
good,
assault unit.
good point, Christian. Of FTP platoon, it's actually way better in terms of costs, in terms of what it does, uh, compared to its cost. Uh, Other than this armor rifle platoon. Why? Because in nowadays you don't meet so many infantry lists. So basically, all those half tracks you have are almost useless. They are useful only when you start meeting up with reconnaissance formations, which are quite hard. Hello, Helge. I can see you joined us in. And Patrick, I'm really happy you have the time to paint now and that you're not feeling that sick. And as I told you, I hope you're gonna get over this ASP. Then I, my Sherman veteran company, it's actually 3 times 3 Shermans. So 3 times 3 Shermans, 2 HQ, 3 mortars, and then I go with 4 Shermans veteran 76s, but taken as support, not taken into the formation. And then with priests and some greyhound and jeeps, and of course the infantry being the paras, the British paras. And that is my Sherman veteran go-to list. I got pretty nice results with it, and it is one of the lists we're going to play here in Romania at our tournament and our competition for qualifying for Switzerland. Uh, about the second list, the 2 Sexton platoons. I have seen this with one of my buddies here in Romania. I First time I've seen it, I was like, "Why do you take 2 Sexton platoons?" And then he told me that they are actually cheaper than if you take 4, right?
Yeah, they
Because
are.
because you get to downgrade them, and you get -2 points for each unit.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you would get for only one unit, and you'd get just -2 points. But
yeah.
I don't know if they are
It's because 4 priests are worth 20 points, and you can deduct 2 points from each section of 2 sextants. So you get a price worth of 16 for the sextants.
yes,
And I can't recall exactly what the point costs are for two, but in that configuration, it's cheaper than buying four together. The only downfall about that is that you have to re-roll your hits.
ex-
And um, since we've been debating the 4.2-inch mortars a few episodes back, I
yes,
haven't been using anything else. And in the 4 games I played recently, they've been performing excellent.
yeah.
The 3 plus firepower and range of 120 centimeters is just so great for a price of 9 points.
It's
And
it's the
and
best
you can,
it's the best British artillery.
yeah. But I can see some merit. I think if he has to have the configuration of the bottom list, Anders, the Danish guy who made it, I think those stewards are not veterans, if I recall. I think they are aggressive
Yeah, well,
and not clever.
American stewards are very, very good, if you
Yeah,
ask me. Especially with the current meta, which is actually a lot of cars and recons and
yeah. Just
half
like in
trucks.
mid-war.
Yeah, exactly. They are very good because they are immune to small firearms, let's say, and they can punish those little critters very, very hard. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a good list. I like the two 17 pounders M10s. Very nice. The Sexton combo, very nice. The reconnaissance is very, very good. I think with the Stewards, I would have actually went with the Sherman, with the trained Sherman formation, just to have the extra 80-10, because 80-10 is really good when you meet up with Panzer Force and stuff like that. I will show you guys some of the lists I've been playing, and I had like incredible results. One of my British reconnaissance list actually, I mean, I've been playing it with the Churchill formation,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and they are way better with the Sherman formation because yeah.
And um, I, the only thing I would point out on the second list is that, and that's just me, I would never take the plane, and then for 8 points worth of fix, he could get some FTP platoons, 85 platoons, just to have something to assault buildings, or a very small downgraded British paratroop platoon to, yeah, to dig out infantry in buildings.
You could
He would.
you could even take the motor platoon that you have on the scout formation, because they are about 6 points or something like that.
No, nine. Yeah, he could buy the cheap ones, but if he removes his Lucky and Typhoon, he could get 9 points worth of mortars instead. Then he would have some more stuff digging out infantry.
I think,
If he don't want infantry,
yeah, I think that two sextants could do the job, if you ask me. I mean, most of the people nowadays just run the pack front for the 88s, and they downgrade them to aggressive, so they are hit on 3 plus. So the reroll on the sextant, you will not feel it that much. You would feel actually the firepower, which is worse. I think it's 4 plus, right, for the sextant,
yeah,
and that will probably not help you kill stuff. So probably take out one sextant, put in the mortars, take out the airplane, put in the motor platoon, and you have a very nice competitive list, in my opinion.
yeah, he could get like he's allowed to buy both uh, small mortars 3 inch and the 4.2 inch if you want so. So if you don't want any infantry at all, unless you could put in more indirect fire. But in my experience, I always want to have at least one infantry platoon. It might be a small one, but it's very nice in those clutch moments where you really need to push somebody off the objective, and they might have like 1, 2 stands left in a building, and then you just sit idle there and you hammer him with machine guns and cannon fire and everything. And if you just had some infantry, you could have assaulted him off the objective. You might already be contesting it. So I never, go out to party without any infantry in my list. But that's just my play style. Test it out if you want to go full tracked, so to speak. Then use all of your tanks, and then, as Tio said, add some more indirect fire. And if you want to play with a Typhoon, be my guest. But again, let's say you play 8 turns, you'll have the plane in 4 times, and you want to hit a veteran German vehicle, or uh, yeah, a veteran Tiger, or some veteran Panzer Force, or whatever, and you are a trained vehicle and they are parked in a crop field, you won't hit them.
Uh,
So
I see Anders actually joined us in the chat. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, Anders, if you just joined recently, we just talked about the last list of yours.
exactly.
So in our regards, we want to remove the plane, remove 1 unit of sextants, and add in 2 sections of mortars, both the 3-inch and the 4.2-inch. And then you can see if you have room enough for the lucky card. But otherwise, have at least 3 templates that you can place each turn if you want to be able to dig out infantry and push him 10 off the objective.
I think that's a little bit too much. I think it's a bit too much to have uh, like
3 templates?
yeah, 3 templates. I think is too much, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean the current meta and the current way it goes, it's very slightly not worth it. I mean, 2 good templates, it's absolutely enough. So all mounted list. All right. So what I want to talk to you guys now, because it came up. It's here. The subject it's here. This list with Stewart formation and with Recon formation and then with Achilles and stuff like that. This is a list that has to win in turn 2 because like 60% or 70% of the missions we have can end in the first turn. And how do you play it? It's simple. You just dash absolutely everything, and then you smoke your troops, and then you wait for the second turn, and you are on the objective because you're dashing 24 inches with those Stuarts. You're dashing 18 inches with those Daimlers and those carriers and those M10s, and you just put absolutely everything on the objective. And the poor fella will not have enough firepower for one objective. So, I mean, the thing is, you have to mass absolutely everything on one objective. And taking a Typhoon, for example, will ruin that. It will be 8 points that are not well spent because
Yeah.
you might not get the Typhoon in the first turn. You might not range in, or you might not be able to use your Typhoon because you are already on the objective. And how it is, I mean, it happened to me defending. So I was testing this out with one of my friends. Um, we actually came up to this conclusion together, let's say, after I've beat him up at our last tournament, where I won 4 games out of 4 with with this tactic. I mean, move everything to the objective, screen your troops, and then basically you're in 4 inch of the objective, and everything else that the guy has is in 8 inches of the objective, and you have so much firepower. I mean, think about it. You have uh, 50 50 shots of MGs on those Stuarts alone. That's a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is, let's say you're playing in no retreat and he has a minefield, then you can just bomb rush down
The
towards
other way.
the objective in the bottom, and then
Exactly.
like bait him to try and defend the forward placed objective, and then go deep and towards the back end objective.
The only way
But
Mm.
the only way
if it,
to prevent this is to place your units smart so that you block his dash move. This
and the thing is, Anos, if you want to play this list like the bottom one at a tournament, I would go for a maneuver option each time, so you don't end up being the defender. Like let's say with some deep reserves and stuff like that, you'll be really screwed. So I would pick maneuver each time, and then look at the missions that you could be able to get with picking maneuver against, let's say, defend or attack, to try and safeguard yourself. Because if you don't have any infantry, like to hold down, lock down an objective, and you have to have only one forward armor free unit on the table, you'll be left with, like, let's say your one of your Achilles and then all of your little cars, and it will be a bit tough for you try and fend off people attacking you. Especially also if you spend 8 points on a plane that you need to keep in reserve and get in on a 5 and then on a 4. So if you want to play the list like this, without any of the additions that we suggested, pick maneuver each time at a tournament, I think.
Yeah. Lou, do you want to say anything? You wanted to add
No,
something?
I'm just agreeing with you quietly.
All right, all right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the game is broken at the moment. I mean, once you figure it out how to play the list, so I won with my list. He won with his list. He won in the second turn. I won in the third turn, and that is only because I had the Panzer Force, SS Panzer Force that were hit on 3+, and I had to bring another. I had to bring the infantry on the objective so I could just kill him, you know. But basically, the game is way too fast, if you ask me. I mean, if the game ends by turn 1 and
Mm.
your opponent has delayed reserves, having 40% of his army in delayed reserves, whoa, that's absolutely a, you know, I mean, from my point of view, is no point picking defense, because when you, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've been crushing pack front lists. I've been crushing Greyhound with pack front lists. I've been crushing like Russian hordes and stuff like that. Once you go on the objective, once you get on the objective, it's very, very hard for the other guy to fend you off. And you just have to get him 4 inches in your turn. Yeah? So you start your second turn on the objective. And that's mind blowing. That's crushing for him. I mean, he has to come and assault your tanks.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
but
he has to shoot his. I don't know how many shots he has, but yeah, if you have, like, look at this. This list has so 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, and then you take 12 more, so he has 25 tanks. Then add in 8 more, 25, that's 30, 33 tanks. So he could bring 33 tanks on the objective. Your opponent has to have at least 66 shots to kill everything or to hit everything. It's math. I mean,
yeah, and then, but again, I hope, Anders, this was some help for you. We've been testing out. I've been testing out my own list that I've been showing on the show quite some time now, and I'm not using any Achilles. I am using 4 of them, but not 8 of them because I like Joe Vandeler, Joe Eakins in my list. So you can check him out, and I also wrote you on the forum about him, and that's just my playstyle. I like to have some Shermans with me that could also assault and some more MG fire. But in regards to what Helge wrote in the chat, me and him have been playing 2 games recently. One of them I won in a close fight, and the other one ended up in a draw. And we've been testing out the Hetzer company,
right.
along with some elephants and some of the Sperrverband infantry, the zero cost infantry in regards of reserves. And if you use the Hetzer correctly, it actually has some merit. I know that it is, overloaded and having problems crossing and stuff like that. But in an offensive game, it's really nice. The only downfall about the Hetzer is that it only has 2 MG shots, but you can get, 4 Hetzers. I think they cost 14 or 16 points or something like that. 16 points, I think, for 4 of them, and they're really nice. Front number 7, 2 shots, and tank 11, firepower 3+, and they are good in a defensive game. And if you pick maneuver, as Helge did when we played, you won't end up in those missions where you have the delayed scattered reserves and stuff like that. And I really got some respect for the headsets. They pack a punch for the amount of money or points you pay for. Um, and then we've been testing out the games, or at least Helge has been testing out like one elephant or Ferdinand to see how that how that works, um, along with the cheap infantry. And I think that's what Germans really lacked was some pre-cost infantry to put on the objective. So you can't just rush up with your um, 33 Shermans. You have to assault those away, and you'll have an elephant that you cannot touch, and then you'll have some headsets with front armor 7 that is really tough at being taken out. And you might block your own shots with all those Shermans if you have some, or all those Stuarts if you have some Achilles holding back and trying to take out the headsets. So I think they have some merit, the headsets, in the future.
Right. Uh, if you're bringing in the header, I'm bringing it. The other subject we're gonna talk about. What's up with the delay and everything? What do you guys know? What do you guys think? What do you guys suppose? I mean, alright, I understand we have COVID. We've been having it for 1 year now. I bet they should have had some ways of packing things and
Yeah,
distribute.
well, I mean, if the factory is closed, you don't produce much.
Yeah, but I mean, we have all the factories open here in Romania. I doubt it they have like
But the
stricter
Malaysian factory is closed.
stricter rules in Malaysia than we have in Romania. Probably it's closed. It's quite obvious it's closed. Quite obvious that something happened. I I think it's actually a distribution problem they're having with the Royal Mail thing and the
But
fact that
the factory has nothing to do with the mail in UK.
I think I think I mean if you have any other information please provide us with it. I'm very happy waiting for that.
Yeah, I think it's the problem is also for us guys in mainland Europe that Brexit have taken place, and there's a lot of problems now with customs because it's so brand new for those custom officers and also the mailing services around Europe. And I hope, for the sake of Battlefront, that if they want us to buy directly from their webpage and their office located in the UK, they will change this into having like an office or at least some distribution hub in mainland Europe, so that we
Exactly.
can buy our stuff from there. Because otherwise, I'm gonna go and get it from some Danish retailers. I know Battlefront will still get their money, but sometimes you can only get limited stuff or special issued things from Battlefront. Uh, and let's say you want to buy some special mortars or some Tobruk pits or whatever, and I'm not paying, triple the amount of the cost of that package, let's say, due to customs, then I won't buy it, and then I will buy it from like an alternative company or try and kit bash it myself. So I think it's gonna hit the companies really hard. Also, Peter Pig and Skytrix and all the other companies that are making miniatures for World War II games. Like you can't buy it from the UK if it's that expensive, and then
True.
it might deter new players. They wanna buy this game and try it out.
I'm
If they
telling you,
can't get it from
I'm telling you, we've been so hyped about the new Bagration German book in January, and everybody had their, money left from holidays and stuff that they didn't spend because we couldn't go anywhere. And now people are like, I don't care about Bagration anymore. Or at least this is how I am. This is how I feel. I mean, I've been having my fun with the SS lists and other things, and I've been playing Flames of War with other books, with the old books, and yeah, I've been having fun with that. I don't feel the need to buy a new book now, for example. And I think this, I mean, okay, I understand you cannot provide us with um, toys. Yeah, you cannot give us the headsers, you cannot give us the martyrs, you cannot give us, I don't know what other models they're putting out with this new book, but just give me the list, give me the electronic version. I will not buy the book. I will not buy the book. I will not buy the printed hardcover book. I will just buy the list. Once they get online, I will buy it on my phone and just have it on my phone, and that's it. I don't need books.
Yeah.
I mean, I will be much more hyped as you are right now. You've been playing headsers. Do you have headsers? You have the models?
No, I don't have him. It was Helge who played with the headsets, but we just tested it out and
There you go.
performed pretty well.
Give me the list. I will proxy the headsers. Yeah, and then when they are out, for sure I will have two orders for 2 boxes of headsers. But now I'm just testing out the SS Panzers, and I just realized I have enough Panzer Force to fill my 20 Panzer IV list, and it's quite a good list. And I play it like a maniac. I'm in turn two. I'm over your base, and I have a Panzer Force that mount up at 2+. Hello,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
40 shots of 3+ firepower and 3+ counterattack, and yeah,
and
and
I think Battlefront and a lot of other companies like Games Workshop and people Warlord Games and stuff, they're really bleeding money now because of Brexit, and then also I think Warlord Games, they produce their own miniatures in England, but the factory in Malaysia, it's a lot of money for them that they have budgets that they need to keep in line and get their money. And if I understand that they cannot release the lists online before they able to sell the models in the book because they have a business plan and they need to earn money. But then again, people might lose interest or at least like leak one list, like, hey, we know that this sucks
Mm.
and blah blah blah. But here, we're gonna give you this list for free that you can check out.
I
Meanwhile,
give
we
a
all paid
teaser.
for the factory to open stuff like that.
yeah, I'm actually agreeing with Dan that he commented in our comment section. Uh, I think the problem is with the postal office. This is, I think, what actually makes everything bad, and I have actually seen it. It's written in what Battlefront actually stated on their webpage. They say that they're having some issues with the Royal Mail thing. Come on, I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you know?
The thing is, like, let's say I buy something worth of 15 euros. I have to pay for the shipping to Denmark, and then the postal office here charges 12 euros in managing the package, and then comes the what afterwards, and it's crazy. And this is just our little hobby, where we buy toy soldiers and throw dice. I can't imagine how it would be like for big companies that want to purchase, tech or raw materials and stuff from the
I,
UK and vice versa.
I mean, the
Have
problem.
you ever heard of a company that buys tech or raw materials from the UK?
No. But for example, we have the
And
same we have the same problem here in Romania with iPhones. I don't know if you guys have the same problem in your countries with iPhone 12 Pros. You cannot find them on the market. You cannot find video cards. But okay, video cards you cannot
Graphic
find.
card.
You cannot find video cards, graphic cards, yeah, because people are buying them to mine Bitcoin. But
yeah, but I think that eventually in the springtime, I think it will improve and people will start to understand the rules, the custom rules, and then you might go look different ways. And I hope that Battlefront and companies like them will get a European hub that you can buy stuff off from.
uh,
Uh,
r- Ruben, yeah, I totally agree with you. The problem with the postal thing is that they're not adapting to what the hell is going on. I mean, everybody's buying online now. Just hire more people. I mean, we have waiters that are not working now, or you have a lot of other services that are not working right now, and people will surely and gladly hire. You guys have Glovo, or you have Uber Eats or stuff like that.
Yeah,
The Glovo business here in Romania, it's absolutely boomed, with everybody ordering home and stuff like that. Why you guys at the postal office just, hire more people, or do something about it? I mean, okay, I understand you have pandemic lockdown for freights, like how you call them? Yeah, freight, like
freight, freighters or shipping or
freighters.
stuff like that.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just me. It's just me. It's just me. But
I,
I'm upset. It's been 4 months. I've paid for my dices, and they're not here. So I'm upset. I can bitch
yeah.
about it.
I remember me and Ludde talking about buying some custom stuff off SS models in the
Yeah,
UK, and he bought his before the Brexit, and I was like, yeah, I'll get around to that. And then I bought them, and now there's like 6 weeks of waiting for them just to cast the models, and then I can imagine how long it will take for them to arrive here. And
yeah.
I think I bought like worth of 80 euros or something. So with customs and
How
postal
many
office.
kits did you get?
What?
How many kits did you get?
Oh, I went nuts. I think I
All of
bought
them?
six tanks and bridges and machines and everything.
Okay.
So when you can't invite your girlfriend out to eat, you might as well buy models. Yeah.
Right, 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 guys. So we've been ranting about this. They say they're gonna resume things by 12th of February. I hope it's true. I feel it's not, because it's too close, and the things haven't changed that much, at least here in Romania. Uh, so Chris is saying that they have no migration book and no head service in Canada either. Chris, I'm not happy. I mean, I wish you guys have them, and I wish I know that I would have them by the next, month or so. But the probability of this happening, it's very, very low. And I'm going back to some episodes we had like last year, when we were talking about 3D printing, and when we were talking about uh, you know just evolve with the thing, just not don't get cramped in this business model, and evolve and do things differently. Uh, Give me my books. I mean, give me my lists. Come on, guys.
Yeah. And
It's a
especially now when everything is closed and like there's nothing to do and there's like the only bright point to think about is like your hobby and
exactly,
want the books or the figures to paint when you sit idle at home and stuff like that. It
exactly,
sucks.
exactly. For me, for example, I'm not painting that much. I'm just, gambling and gaming and stuff like that. But yeah, I know. It's gambling.
Don't gamble too.
It's gambling. It's gambling. Uh,
Okay,
with
what about the tournament too? The Super Smash tournament.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to come now. The Super Smash is absolutely, uh, hopefully going to happen. We have, I mean, I've talked with Etienne last night. I've talked with Etienne today also a little bit. He said that he's gonna watch the stream and comment and stuff like that, but he's walking the dog or something. The thing is, they're currently thinking of how many teams they will have. They have a situation with the fact that they will probably feel better with about 68 teams getting involved, which is quite a high number, because they are considering not only the national teams coming to the tournament, they are considering also a lot of local teams and 68 players. Sorry, so not 68 teams, 68 players. So do the math. That's how many teams?
I think it's around 24 teams or 30 teams.
17, 16 teams. Yeah,
16 teams.
yeah, something like that. And the thing is, 64. Yeah, so it's 64, not 68. And the thing is that they have some paperwork to do with the authorities. The problem is that in Switzerland, as all over Europe, the vaccination thing is not going that well, and their government doesn't actually have a plan for the upcoming 6 months. So they're in expectation, let's say. It's something that is going on here in Romania as well. I mean, we opened up the schools for some classes, but you never know next month if the new uh, thing from the new mutation from England comes in Romania, what happens and stuff like that. Um, the idea is that things are working, things are getting ahead, and we are trying to put it up together. What I know is that we're going to have brackets, like groups, just to have like not to have all the best people uh, kicking off, the small teams and people that just want to come and have fun and things like that. So basically, you will have a top bracket where you have top teams, yeah, that's scored high in at the ATC. Yeah, it's not 17, it's 16 then. It's going to be 16 teams, I think. And yeah.
Yeah.
And
But to understand you, right? You are working on a Facebook page, with additional information about, all the logistical stuff and practical stuff, like where is the tournament being held. We talked about it
exactly,
last time.
exactly.
So because some of the guys here in Denmark have been requesting me to show them stuff, and I linked to our video from 14 days ago, and yeah, so stay tuned. Like, I think till we will be talking about the web page or the Facebook page as soon as you know something, and I think you and Fred are also working on the rule packaging, right? Yeah.
Exactly. At the end, and Fred are working on the rule package. Basically, what I'm trying, I mean, I'm trying to also express my ideas and also gather your ideas and express them to them. They're gonna have like the team will be four-man team. Three will be stances that have to be attack, maneuver, and defense. And then it will be a fourth stance that everybody can pick up randomly according to whatever their adversaries' lists look like and whatever they feel like. So you are obliged to pick one defense, one maneuver, one attack, and then a joker or a bonus. Probably, I don't. I wouldn't understand why nobody, everybody wouldn't play attack on the fourth one, but who knows? I mean, if the other opponent has only defensive lists, yeah, I can see a point of playing maybe a defensive list and trying to get him to assault you with his infantry and you having like tons of little cars and stuff like that. And I actually like the bracket thing where you have the top teams that can qualify to, let's say, I mean, first day you have the groups, and then the second day you have the competition, and then the third day you have actually the finals, let's say. And I think that is a better way of putting a tournament together, especially when you consider that they're gonna be four-man teams and they're gonna be uh, top teams. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And I think,
when you sorry, when we had the six-man team, there was room for one or two players to be like, inexperienced or noobs and trying to learn things, and uh, maybe they don't have such a good list. But now with four men, I mean, I know that in every team at the ATC, there are at least 2 or 3 men that have enough experience to put some pressure on any experienced player. So
Yeah, yeah, but again, I think it's a good idea. I think normally at DTC, I'm not quite sure, but I think there's some sort of cloud system where you get seeded from last year. So in the first round, you'll meet somebody that finished like near you in the tournament. But I'm not sure because sometimes I think at DTC I've been there like 7 times, and I think some years we've been facing off against Team UN. Not to say anything rude about those guys, but they are often like who are able to go to Serbia like with 14 days notice and don't have time to test their lists or stuff like that. They are always fun to play against, but then you might get some easy victories and some easy big points. So by like and Fred and Etienne and you know which teams normally perform like in top 10, and you can put them in a bracket together, and I think it would be good for everybody's gaming experience so you don't face off like against 4 local Swiss guys that just finished up their first fully painted army and is going to this
exactly,
tournament and
exactly.
being ripped a new asshole. Like, what's the
being
fun in that?
being taken to school. What I think it will be a topic to discuss will be actually the mission metrics. Because I've been playing some of the new missions in the books, in the new books, and they are absolutely great. I mean, if you ask me, the quality of missions is increasing by book. Let's say I don't understand why they are not upgrading their mission metrics, but that's just me.
Yeah. But I think the guys at Breakthrough Assault could do it, or otherwise, I think Søren from Iceland could do it.
I hope so. Soran, if you're watching this, start start talking to your guys from Breakthrough Assault and upgrade the mission metrics.
And I really want to, now when we're talking about missions, I really enjoyed playing the new mission called, I don't know how new it is, but one called Cornered. I never tried it before, but it was really a good mission I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's
They're all
very
around.
it's I mean the new missions, even if the Russian Bagration book, the River Assault mission. Whoa, absolutely great with new mechanics. I mean, now you have to hold 2 objectives. You have to take your objective and to take your opponent's objective, and you have to hold them both. And your opponent only has to push you out from one objective to win. Whoa, that's really nice. That's really how things should be
Evolving, yeah.
evolving, exactly, because I'm telling you, with this old missions that you can win by turn 1, it's not looking nice. Hello, Andre. Yeah, guys, what what's up with what we have on our, so we talked about the rumors, we talked about the Super Smash, we have an anecdote we'll be referring to. uh That is, before I ask Loot what he's been working on, because he's been working on stuff lately. What are you painting? What are you
I
doing there?
it's a competition piece, so I can't talk more about it. It's
Wow.
I mean I can show you some of it. That's the Plymouth.
I think
So
I think
that's
if is it 28 mil?
yeah.
Okay, so
Right. So we should see some very artistic
It's
thing.
gonna take time. The deadline is the last of May, so I'm really gonna enjoy my time with it.
brilliant. Is it a Finnish tournament or what? Or competition?
No, it's an online competition called Brush Beast. You can check it out
Okay,
on.
but is there different categories like 15 mil and 28 mil and
There are different like vehicles, miniatures, busts, uh,
yeah, all kind of stuff?
quads. You know the usuals.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to go in and really, really try out the techniques I know. Should be fun. And get some feedback, hopefully.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep. I'm looking forward to see if it's a British or if it's an American.
I think it's a version of you too.
Right, right. It should be bold and fat. All right. Christian, drop us your anecdote. It's time for
Yeah.
it.
Could you could you put up the last slide that I sent you?
Of course, my friend. It's already
Yeah.
up.
You remember last time, like a few weeks ago, in one of the shows, I was talking about this book called Tank Action, an armored group commander's war, and also group troop commander, sorry. And it's really nice. I listened to it on Audible meanwhile I was painting, and one of the things that were really cool in the book last time, remember I talked about how he was ordered. He ordered some guys to drive their crumbles off a landing craft, and it just slipped to the bottom, and all those poor guys drowned, died even before touching Normandy.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the book goes on towards Operation Market Garden, and as you probably know by now, this is my favorite campaign or theater of war during the Second World War. And it's the first time that these guys from the Sherwood Yeomanry or Sherwood Rangers Yeomanry are working together with the U.S. forces, and they're working together with the 82nd Airborne. And from back then, even though they spoke English, the world wasn't that connected as it is today. So they found them to be very exotic and like cool, and also hard fighting troops. But the cool thing about when he's working with his Sherman alongside the U.S. forces is that they are supposed to help out defend Nijmegen, where the 82nd were dropped. And at one point during that fight, he links up with some 82nd Airborne, and he gets in contact with the company commander of one of the regiments. I can't remember which PIR it is, 504th or something, and then one of the companies. And the curious thing about the event is that he drives up to link up with the 82nd captain, and as he approaches their fortified positions, he can actually see, because Holland is quite flat. There's a big field between them, and then all the dikes, they use them as cover, and he can clearly see that the Germans have a position on the opposite side of the field, and he can also see a Hetzer in full view parked at a road, and he's like, why are you not engaging them and calling in artillery strikes and stuff? And he's like walking up to the 82nd Airborne commander, and he says, well, they haven't been bothering us, and therefore we don't feel like bothering them, so they have like a small ceasefire nearby. And he walks up to them, but we've been briefed that we are supposed to make a combined assault with you guys towards the Germans. And as you understand, like, these guys have been dropped in Normandy, and they might be a bit weary after fighting for so long, and they're like, why should we go and engage these guys when they're not harassing us? So he says, if you want to attack them, feel free. We'll stay here and support, and you can go across. Like, again, it's very flat in Holland, and there's no cover and stuff. So he drives up with his tank, and between the two fields, there's a raised road, and he's driving up on that road to try and get a good, field of fire towards the Hetzer. And as he talked about in the book, is that they don't use the armor-piercing round. They don't like it, and they don't think pack good enough punch. So they always use HE, and they're very good at firing them very rapidly. But again, the Germans aren't suspecting the Allies to attack because they have a ceasefire. So he can really line up the shot, and he takes out the Hetzer. But as soon as he fires at the Hetzer, he gets engaged by an 88 from another edge of the forest, like across the field at the dike. There are some brushes and stuff, but on the opposite side where the Germans are located. So they're getting engaged by this 88, and he orders in his headphones to reverse. And as they're trying to drive off this raised roads and back towards their own lines, they drive off the raised roads and are parked like facing down, with exposing the top towards the 88, and you can see he's trying to zero in on him, and he's really like one shot more and he will hit him directly, and they cannot get off that piece of ditch they're sitting in, off the raised
bench,
road.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he sees because he's trying to abandon tank, so he orders them everybody to get out of the tank and get it off from the road. But he sees then all of a sudden a friend of his in his Sherman that hits the 88 directly in the front armor, on the front plate, and it scatters all of the crew that is manning the gun, and they flee, and some of them die and stuff like that. And as he's seeing that, he gets back to his tank, and his friend is trying to run back, or trying to call him back over the radio and tell him, like, you owe me a beer and stuff like that for saving your life. But the way that his friend has been, moving his Sherman into position to try and take out the 88s has been with him walking on the ground to check, because it's in flooded areas in Holland, and it's very flat, and the Germans have been, destroying a lot of the ditches and dikes and stuff. So he's walking in front of the tank, guiding it into a position to take out the 88. But as he gets back to the tank to try and call him on the radio, his Sten gun misfires inside the turret. Ooh. And eventually he dies from his injuries.
Oh my God.
So his best friend just saved his life, and then he dies to a Sten gun misfiring because it was very cheaply made and the safety was faulty and stuff like that. So that really got to him, like, okay, I was just about to die from an 88, and then my friend saved me. And then he died, not from, gloriously fighting off Germans and taking a bullet for his friend. No, he died from a misfire inside the turret with the Sten gun. And as I read that, I was like, really got to me, like, Jesus, how do you continue from that? Like,
yeah.
The war isn't, it isn't like over, and now you just have to get back to 82nd and then try again. Your best friend that's been with you since Normandy just died, and the book is like full of stuff like that, and it's really well written. And but that particular part in the book like really got to me.
Right.
So
that's been chilly, actually. I mean, dying from a stem gun, accidentally, unloading inside your tank that got saved by miracle, let's say. Yeah, I was thinking that could happen only to a T-34 crew member, but I guess the Russians had their commissars to fear about. They wouldn't have abandoned the tank in the first place. No. Probably.
But the thing is, like, they tried to get back into the tank and drive it away from there, and in some of the further in the book, they lose their tank to a mine, and luckily all of them can get out of there, and they rush back, and then they get a a new one issued, but he's very upset about his new tank that he received because, as you know, you can both get a petrol version and a diesel version of a Sherman.
Hmm.
So he used to drive in a diesel version, and it's a bit more safe, like because of the fumes from
Mhm.
gasoline in comparison to diesel that only blows under pressure. So he's so upset about him driving around in like
A
a Ronson
firecracker.
lighter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. I mean, Shermans were absolutely dreadful about catching fire from random shells penetrating them. That's true, guys. Um, Thank you very much. Been a nice chat with you. I'm looking forward to our next episode, where I hope we will be getting Etienne with us, and probably have some more insights about the Super Smash competition. I'm really hoping that all of you guys will get your toys and everything you've ordered, or at least get some notification about when they're probably gonna get with you. And stay safe, drink Corona, and not get sick. And let's hope things will get better very, very soon. Take care and have a good evening, guys.